Hi guys, welcome back on my channel, Dorota Palicka, International Nail Artist and Educator, and today we are going to do a very colorful design on the stiletto, kind of a long stiletto nail art. It is going to be a pretty colorful with a little bit of bling because I love the bling, and I hope you will really enjoy watching this tutorial. Also, thank you so much for all your support, for all the memberships which have joined this channel. And I will try to produce as many tutorials to keep you occupied and busy, providing a free education for you. So let's start. So you have seen the set which we are going to recreate, and I have done it actually ages ago, and I thought it's pretty nice and it's a good time of the year to recreate it as well. So I will show you on this nail. I'm just dehydrating the surface of the natural nail plate, and then I'm going to give a couple of the scratches before the form application. Also, if you're new to this channel and that's the first tutorial you're watching, go and check this beauties. Or like we've got also a sculpting and different nail shapes, lots of different designs and lots of useful tips. So here I've got the form, which I'm going to cut a little bit so it fit in my nails nice. I need to make it a bit wider. And then pre-pinch it and close. Okay, I need to cut it a little bit more just in this place so it fits in good. Sometimes you don't need to cut the forms at all, they just slide in. It depends what kind of look you're going for. I like really strongly pinched nails, so that's the reason why I'm alerting my forms a little bit. Okay, that should work. So what I'm going to do now is squeeze that form in and start closing it. I went a little bit too high, so I'm making the cuts a little bit lower. And if I wouldn't cut, because of this nail folds, I wouldn't be able to squeeze the form, and then the nail will look really wide. And we don't want that. I also want my form to go kind of straight, a little bit more to the upward way. So we are going to pinch it nice, the form. And the best way, like, don't squish the form, just go in and out, in and out. Okay, that's me happy with the form application. You can see the side view and this view here. And then the next step is to use an extra dehydrator, just because we could touch the nail plate during the form application. Let it dry, and then we can move on into the universal air bond, and we are going to sculpt it with the fiber gel and a light rose, definitely my favorite one. So I'm just waiting for the nail prep to dry, and then universal air bond, wait for it to dry as well. Then using the gel brush, we are going to sculpt it. Okay, I'm picking up a small scoop of the product. and just apply it on the nail plate, like kind of massage it nice and thin, nice and thin. First of all, you've got the control over the product and you know what you are doing. The product doesn't run on your skin or the cuticles, and you've got a good coverage on the entire nail plate. And then I'm building the skeleton of the nail. So those lines are very useful when it comes to the stiletto shape. And just will go through the entire length of the form. So those lines are very helpful. And my suggestion is always goes a little bit outside those lines. So first of all, it is a skeleton. It doesn't take long time to file it, and you are never going to miss the product. Okay, so the skeleton is built in, and I can give it a cure. It is going to be a 30 seconds cure, and then we can pinch it. And then when my nail is cured, I can take it out from the lamp and then give it a light pinch. Actually, I show you a different pinching technique as well. So we could use the tweezers and we could just pinch it like this. But the problem with the gel is that it kind of jump out, so the pinching doesn't stay in place like it does in acrylics. So that will just give you a very gentle pinch. And in a salon work, that's absolutely fine. And you could do it even on the weaker nails. But if you've got someone who wants an extreme pinch, but their nails allow you to do it, which means they are strong and they are not going to lift, or you are not going to cause the oncolysis, which is a separation of the nail plate from the nail bed. Also, the nail plate could crack in here as well in a case of the weak or brittle nails. So you have to be really experienced with the pinching to be able to do that. And pinching never should be sore. Like even if we're going for an extreme pinching, it shouldn't be sore. So it is really important that you know what you're doing when it comes to the pinching. Okay, and then when it's cured, we can start building our structure. So I'm just removing the pinching comb, and you can see how much nicer and slimmer look it is. I'm removing the excess of the product from my brush and just applying a thin layer. First of all, it's a second layer which goes around the cuticle area and around the side walls. So this way I've got a really nice lunula, which is still visible, especially when we're working with the cover gels, like it doesn't look too fake. I'm just smoothing out places and applying enough product. Okay, and also this will gives me a better product control when I'm going to apply my apex, because the product will kind of slide and move easier on this thin layer. So I'm picking up like a very large scoop of the product, like a really decent amount of the product. I mean, obviously this is a thumb, it might be not enough on the brush, but we'll see. And now I'm building my structure. Put the finger down the way and work only in the middle, because by the time you put it to the lamp, the product will run to the sides. And this also has to be your strongest points, like your apex. Then remove the product, smooth it out on the side, other side, and that's your nail ready. Okay, check my apex. And now I can pop it into the lamp. Give it a half a cure, and then we are going to pinch it again. Okay, and now when my nail is almost halfway cured, I can just double check it. pull the form out. So you squeeze the form and you pull it down the way. Okay, and we can pinch it from the other side. It looks actually pretty nice. And then pinch it only at the free edge. So because the gel is not cured properly, it has lots of inhibition layer, so the pinching clamp may slide. If you find that's happening, touch it with the nail file and it will stay in place. I will squish it more. See, it's sliding, so I should clean it or scratch it with the file. And then put inside the lamp to do the final cure. So your nails are going to fully cure. Because if you overcure the product, you wouldn't be able to pinch it and the product would just stay in place, and then you wouldn't be able to get the stick off. And this gel is like an absolutely amazing as well. Like, I'm so in love with that. I love the package. I love the way how easy it is to work with. Basically, it just works for you. You kind of only push it a little bit to the places you need, and that's all. And this is probably one of the best tips I could give you, is do not overwork your product. Like, only let it help to move the places you need it, rather than playing too much with it, because then you end up having bubbles, then you end up overworking your product, then the product will start to run on the sides, and like you just end up with the mess on the nail. So you have to be quick enough so it looks nice. Okay, now I'm just going to remove the inhibition layer. There are some lines after the pinching clamp just because the nail wasn't cured properly, but they are going to be filed away. And then we need to file the sides, other side. File them well. Okay, if you're happy with it, start working around the cuticle area. Like, make sure everything is nicely blended. Obviously, the better job you do with the product application, the less filing you are going to have. But the bonus of the gel is this one is pretty easy to file. As you can see, I'm not going to spend a long time on it, considering the length of this nail. I don't have to even touch the apex at all with my file. So now just concentrating at the end of the nail, the free edge. Take a buffer, smooth it out, and we can move on into the design part. I'm just going to thin up the end a little bit, that's it. Clean the nail. now we can start painting the design. So I don't have my mixing palette, just cleaning. I just remove this dust. Always make sure you have no flying bits and pieces of the dust and other things, so your design is nice and clean. Okay, and we are going to use some yellow. That might be too bright. No, it's not bright. Okay, let's go use this one. So a drop of the yellow, pink, blue, green, some purple, and maybe another pink. No, this one. No, that's too dark. Okay, that will be enough then. So there are two ways of doing this design. The first way, you could just paint the design first with the colors, and then you could move on and just go around it with the foil. And that is easier because you can kind of hide the joint places, but also you could do the design with the foil and then fill up with the color. So whichever option is easier for you, you can just do it. And to save the time, I'm going to do it the foil first and then fill up with the color, because then I can just straight away put the top coat over it. So I'm just going to cut a small piece of the foil. Maybe I will go with this one. Just so it stands out more. And then using the nail dehydrator, mine actually just finished. I'm going to use the nail prep. Clean the back of the foil. And then pick up the foil design gel. And we are going to do the design. So the idea of the design is that it is kind of like a French looking design. So I'm just creating my lines for a French with a bit of swirl. And then do the lines. They're totally random. And then in each place we can just fill up different color. we can see, I'm just joining those lines in different smaller shapes. Really not bother too much about the shapes I create, and maybe add something here. Yeah, so I'm happy with it. Now I'm going to give it a cure, and we have to put our lamp into the slow settings. Now I have to make sure my nail is properly inside this lamp. This is a very important step, actually the most important one is your curing time. You don't want to overcure it, especially in the LED lights. The LED lights are really strong lights, and if you overcure your product, then you are not going to get a nice results. So in an LED light, I find it like 30 seconds is a perfect curing time for this gel on the slow settings. That's it, cure. And now I'm going to press the foil and then pick it up. Got sticky fingers. So I suggest you clean your fingers. If your fingers are clean, then the foil is not going to stick into your thumb, which makes it much easier. And kind of like you've got almost, I don't want to break the seal, you've got almost one go for each place, because then if you don't get it right, you're going to remove the inhibition layer and the foil is not going to stick in. Okay, so that's my gold foil done. And now I'm going to fill up this design with the colors and then stick crystals in. So let's do some purple. This is actually a really fun kind of design to do it. Pretty quick, and my clients did love it. I have done it also on much shorter nails. Okay, so we've got the purple done. Somewhere else? Yes, here on the bottom. Okay, purple done. Let's go pink. Let's go pink here. And then put it inside the lamp just to freeze it for a couple seconds so the product doesn't run too much. So a couple seconds cure. And we can move on. So I'm going to apply more pink. Yellow. Actually, it is not too dark yellow like I thought on the beginning. It's a nice one. So we've got yellow here, then we should go blue there. Blue. I like it even just like that, without all the gems. We're also needing those beautiful green. I had the jacket this color. It was awesome, but it got damaged in the wardrobe. And I've got some tiny bit room in here, which I could put yellow there. Touch up the blue. Yeah, and that looks pretty nice and cool. I'm going to give it a cure. And then after it's cured, we can just stick on the gems. So I'm not going to put many of them because I quite like this design the way it is. So I've got a couple of this ones. And I will take the larger one as well. And it's very handy because I've got the surface buffed, so I don't have to buff it again. Also, it's just a really quick way of doing it, this design. And now I can just stick in a couple gems. My crystal katana. I'm so messy sometimes. An arty mess. Isn't it? Cameraman is laughing because our daughter Olivia, she's an arty soul as well. So yeah. Blink blink. Yeah, so we could also add the blink on these parts as well, but I don't want to do that because it will just spoil this look. So I need to wait for it to dry a little bit, and then we are going to apply the top coat to finish this amazing look. So I'm just going to grab my top coat. I hope you have learned something from this video and you really liked it. Now, when we apply the top coat, make sure you do not apply it on the crystals because then they will lose their shine and they look plastic and fake. So you could use a small brush to go in those hard places. Pretty time consuming applying the top coat around the crystals. but that's the finished look. I can pop it into the lamp to give it a cure. Okay, and that's my nail cure, so you can have a look to the final results. I'm just going to clean it. And then apply some cuticle oil. And ta-da! I really like this nail. It's like nice, bright and colorful and happy nail. I would call it nice and happy nail. And yeah, you can find this romantic garden on the channel too as well, and lots of other different tutorials. Thanks for watching, guys. Glittery hacks, and bye for now.